Hello, YouTube. What's going on, Wired fam? Hope everybody's doing well. It is Wednesday, the 19th of August. It's hard to believe it's already the 19th of August. 2020 has just kind of been a blur. I think maybe because we're supposed to be inside for half of it, right? Hope everybody's doing well. Glad y'all joined us. Let's see. My StreamYard will pop up and start working here in a minute, I'm sure. There's always a lag. It's finally starting to cool off. I'm glad about that. It's not as hot. It hasn't been warm, though, that's for sure. But finally starting to cool off in East Tennessee. Starting to see some mild temperatures in the evenings, which is nice. Water temps have cooled a little bit. They were in the mid to upper 80s. Now they're down in the lower 80s. Fish are still biting. They are still biting. There's a lot of fish out there to be caught. All right, let's see. I got a live feed up now. I got a comment feed up now. Guys, don't forget, when you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to know where everybody's from and say hello to everybody. So when you get on, shoot me a hello. Let me know where you're from. Let's see who we got tonight. We got Crickwater Crappie Company. Good evening. How's it going? Glad you joined us. Heidi Clark from Idaho. Hello, Heidi. Joseph Thaxton, Macon, Georgia. Hello. Mike Davis, Abilene, Texas. Hello. Terry Gear. Hello, sir. Stephen. Hello. Josh Hurst. Hello. Phil Pickett from Elkhart, Illinois. Jimmy Pratt. What's going on, Jimmy? Tim Payne, right here in Maryville with me. What's going on? Mike Keene. Hello. Ashley Coffee said he finally got his boat back out of the shop. He said it's on like Donkey Kong. Ronnie Harris, Carrollton, Georgia. Todd Pell, Beaver Creek, Ohio. What's going on, Todd? I'd say you guys are getting some pretty nice temperatures up there in Ohio this week, aren't you? I'm sure the evenings are pretty nice. Mornings and evenings, pretty nice up there in Ohio. Dustin Adams, Speedwell, Tennessee. Josh Hurst. Blaine Artip. Trent Huber, hello. Slab Buster, what's going on? Asheville, Alabama. And we got Tyler Key from the Cumberland Plateau. What's going on, Tyler? So, yeah, like I said, guys, the temperatures are starting to cool in the evenings and at night a little bit. It's cooling the lake temperatures off slightly in East Tennessee. And it's actually my wife walked out outside yesterday morning, I believe it was. And she said, "Oh, I'm not ready for fall." And I said, "I am. Bring it on. I'm ready. I've been ready. Come on. Fall fishing. Yeah, let's go." I'm not necessarily looking forward to winter fishing, but fall fishing, oh, yeah. So, but anyway, the summer bite is still very, very good in East Tennessee, catching a lot of fish. If you guys saw the video last week, that was this past weekend. And I fished without LiveScope while I was on the lake and just caught a lot of fish. I had a really good time. I told a guy, one of my friends, that after I made the video, I said, it was nice to go back and fish without LiveScope. LiveScope takes some of that anticipation away from crappie fishing. I think it's, to be honest with you guys, I think it's the anticipation of the thump. And then to feel the thump, anticipating it, and just, you're on edge, and then wham, you feel that thump. With LiveScope, you lose a little bit of that because you can literally watch a fish move to come get your jig, and it takes a little bit of that away. So I had a really good time fishing without it for an afternoon, and I just left it on the deck, guys. I didn't even plug it up. So it was a lot of fun, caught a lot of fish, a lot of good fish, and I fished for about 2.5 hours, and I probably caught 35 or 40 fish. It was a really good afternoon, so I had a lot of fun. Jimmy Pratt said, I like the LiveScope, Matt. I like my LiveScope too. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying I can catch fish without it, and it brings some of that anticipation back into crappie fishing. Some of that. I guess the moment that you get startled with a thump, it brings some of that back, and it's, I was giddy for an afternoon. I was sitting there. Am I going to get bit? Am I going to get bit? Oh, there he is. So a lot of fun. Had a good time. But yeah, I like my LiveScope too, no doubt. So let's see. Eddie Gregg, hello. Todd Pell, I hope I said that right, Todd. He says, yes, 58 low, 78 high today in Ohio. So, yeah, that's getting right. I bet the crappie are on fire up there, Todd. If they're not, they should be. Jason Blair, good evening. Slabbuster says, I'm good in the winter till it's 18 and wind is blowing 20 mile an hour. Yeah, I'm not very good 18 wind blowing 20 mile an hour either, to be honest with you, but I'll fish in it. Hey, I'm diehard. I'll fish in it. One of the best days I ever had crappie fishing, guys, it was 6 degrees when we put in that morning and we fished Douglas. And this has been 8 years ago. It was a club tournament. It was a day of a tournament. My shift cable was froze up on my boat, so I couldn't go anywhere. I actually fished from literally put the boat in the lake and fished from where I launched with the trolling motor, spider rigging, and I think we caught 130 fish in 8 hours or something like that. We had them clicked. I don't remember the exact number, but it's ridiculous. It was a ton of fun. Had a blast, and it was colder than crap. But funny because some guys in the tournament, they said, Matt, we knew which boat was yours. And I said, how'd you know which boat was mine? Oh, we could see you all the way down the other side of the creek. And I'm thinking, how could you see that far and know it was me? Because there was this heat coming up out of your boat. Yeah, I used to carry a propane tank with a big 3-burner heater on it. The big Gas Buddy 3-burner heater. And I'd fire that joker up. We'd sit there and spider rig with that heater in front of us. Boy, we was toasty. But anyway, I used to get made fun of for that. But hey, we stayed warm, so oh well. Steven watched my video this week, catching the fish slapping fish or the face slapping fish. Yeah, I underestimated. So if you watched my video this week, I had a little blooper in there, and I actually caught a crappie right in the side of the face. If you hadn't seen it, watch the video again. It's pretty funny. I underestimated how big that fish was because when I set the hook, I think I was around a limb. And I, of course, I'm fishing with braid now a lot, and with braid, you can boat flip a fish, no problem. The 12-pound braid, you don't have to worry about it. So I was pulling on that fish, reeling. I went to boat flip that fish, and it come right out of the lake like a rocket. And before I knew it, it was right up against the side of my face. It was pretty funny. If you missed that in the video, you got to go back and watch it. It's pretty funny. It's comical. My one and only blooper for the channel so far. There'll be more. Blake Hawk, what's going on? Hey, Matt, great video this week. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone is well this evening. Well, hello to you too, Blake Hawk, and thank you. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Dave Coleman from Deer Park, Texas. What's going on, Dave? Trent Huber. Trent says that was a good video. Definitely good information there. Thank you. Thank you, Trent. I appreciate it. Slab Buster. Let's see. Well, Matt, I'll give you my address and you can just send me that old LiveScope. I'll use it for you. I need all the help I can get. Well, I'm not exactly ready to send my LiveScope off just yet. But if I ever get to that point, I'll let you know. Jimmy Pratt says, when you look down and see a pile of crappie on LiveScope, I get excited just like they're a big buck. Yep. No doubt about that. James Saunders, good evening, Matt, and everyone else. Good evening, James. Trent Huber says, got my glow stump bugs today. Ready to try them out. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen the new glow baits from Bonehead Tackle, you got to check them out. So everybody knows, or if you follow the channel enough, you know that the moon dust stump bug is one of my favorite colors. I've got several colors that I gravitate to. That's black and chartreuse, white and chartreuse, the moon dust, the shoot, I can't remember the name of it now. It's this one right here. That one right there. If you guys can see that, it's like that opaque with the pepper flake and the green. I can't remember the name of it. Saved my life. I just looked it up the other day too. Sorry. And the blood moon. The blood moon is a moon dust with a red belly. Those are the colors that I gravitate to a lot. And they actually came out with a glow bait that is half moon dust and half glow. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a killer bait. I can tell you that right now, especially for shooting docks. That glow bait under a dock, I'm going to like it. So probably going to do a video, hopefully this weekend. I can get some footage of using that bait and fishing under docks with it. I hope. We'll see. But yeah, they are going to be good baits, and that's the moon dust stump bug. Actually, that's a slim stick. I'm sorry, that's a moon dust slim stick. That is a moon dust stump bug. You guys can't really see that in the pack, can you? It's a glare. There's your moon dust stump bug, and they've got one that's half glow, so I'm going to like it, I think. It'll be something special for sure. Oh, and while we're on the topic of Bonehead, discount code for Bonehead Tackle, guys. If you're looking to purchase Bonehead baits or apparel, they've got shirts, they've got hats, they've got, the cups, any of that right there. That's the Bonehead Tackle cup. Any of that stuff you can buy. If you're in East Tennessee, you can buy it at Gunny's, Crappie Cove at Gunny's in Maryville, Tennessee. They've got all your Bonehead Tackle stuff there. Or you can go to www.boneheadtackle.com and you can use the discount code Crappie2020 and it'll save you 15% on the website. And you will also get a discount at the Crappie Cove at Gunny's if you tell them you're part of the Wired fam. So if you go in and tell them you want the Wired discount at Gunny's, Crappie Cove, they will hook you up there as well, okay? So, but if you got to go to the website and order Crappie2020. Dr. Mike, Rocky Top Doc, good evening from Knoxville. Glad you're with us, Dr. Mike. Robert McMahon, Harrison, Arkansas, hello. Heidi's got a good question. What is a good spinning reel for a 6-foot pole bank fishing? 6-foot pole bank fishing, I like the Fluger Tryon, Heidi. I've got one right here. I like the Fluger Try-On, Heidi. That's your Fluger Try-On. Okay. It's relatively inexpensive. Great reel. They're very smooth. They're well built. They'll last you forever. I put my reels through the ringer. Absolutely through the ringer. I'm fishing, once or twice every week for 8 to 10 hours, and I'm constantly pitching and shooting docks. I'm constantly hitting that bail over and over again, and they do not wear out like some reels do. They're going to wear out. Let's face it. Every reel is going to wear out, but these are they're very economically priced, and they last you well more than the price for the reel. So Fluger Try-On, this is a size 25, okay? They do have different sizes, Heidi, so when you're looking for one, I like the size 25. I like the bezel size on the 25, the spool size, because line comes off of it very well. I don't like one that's too small because with mono, it just creates more loop. But I don't like one too big either because I don't like a big bulky reel. So you can see about how big that reel is compared to my hand. It is a very well-sized reel. It bounces out well, and it's not very heavy either. So very good reel. I don't have any kind of code or anything from them. I buy these just the same as you guys do. I am not sponsored by Fluger yet. And, but like I said, they are a very, very good reel for the money and well worth it. So, and I think you can buy them for, I think they came out with a new version. It may be $40, but I think you can still find some for around $30 to $35 too. So anyway, you can check them out. Again, it's the Fluger Try-On, size 25. That's what's on all my reels. Eddie Gregg. Matt, if I put a Helix 10 in my boat, can I run it on that battery you were talking about last Wednesday and keep it off my cranking battery? Sorry. Did I get floppy? I had a bug on my screen. Killing bugs. Yes, Eddie. Yes, you can. You can run anything off of that amped battery. The 30 amp hour from Amped Outdoors, you can run anything off of it. I mean, there was actually I talked to the guy that owns Amped Outdoors, and there were some guys that were running a trolling motor, a 24 volt trolling motor off 2 of his amped 30 amp hour batteries. So yeah, I mean, you can run it perfectly fine, Eddie. It's not going to hurt it at all. Grant Bailey says Santa Claus is coming early to me and the wife. LiveScope on the way, gets here Friday. Uh-oh. Well, there won't be any fish left in Watch Bar, guys. Grant's going to have LiveScope. I'm glad you got your LiveScope. Grant and I have been talking about LiveScope for a long time, so I'm glad you got it, Grant. That's great, buddy. Stephen Abernathy, what's up? Jerry Hall, hello from Gunnersville, Alabama. What's up, Jerry? Old Lake Gunnersville, bass capital of the world. There's some big crappie in Gunnersville, too. Guys, I think Gunnersville, well, it used to be a sleeper lake. I'm not going to say it's a sleeper lake anymore because the ACT fished it, and there was like 15 pounds every day come off of it. And that's 7 fish, 15 pounds. That lake's, people know it now. And but there are some big crappie in Gunnersville. I'm going to get down there and fish it one day. I'm probably going to make a trip. I'd like to do a weekend trip. I'd like to hit Weiss, Gunnersville, and then swing around to Neely Henry. Is it Neely Henry that's north central Alabama, I think? Neely Henry. So you got Neely Henry and Weiss and then Gunnersville, I think. Anyway, I'd like to make a trip and hit 3 or 4 different lakes and swing around, kind of weekend trips. I just sleep in the truck, but we'll see. It's going to happen one day. Joseph Faxton, is that monkey milk and green? Yeah, it is a monkey milk color. They don't call it monkey milk. Slick neon. Dang, I knew I'd remember it in a minute. Slick neon is the color of that bait, Joseph. Let me show it to you. I knew I'd remember it in a minute, but it is like a monkey milk and green. So there it is. Try to get the glare off of it if I can. So yeah, it's got a sheen in the milky area, and then it's a green tail. That's one of my favorite baits from Bonehead right there, without a doubt. Everybody knows I like the stump bug. I'm a huge fan of the stump bug. I just like the dual tail, and a lot of times I'll even take this center paddle tail right here. I'll even take that out. What that does is that gives those tails a little bit more room to move around, so you get a little bit more wiggle out of them, and it just gives the bait a different profile. Almost looks like a frog, doesn't it? So anyway, I like the stump bug. I'm a big fan of the stump bug. What are you doing? Hey, what are you chewing on? My dog down there just gnawing away on something. But the slim stick is a good bait too, Joseph and everybody. I like the slim stick as well. I use the slim stick a lot. I use the stump bug more, but if you like the minnow bait, there's the slim stick from Bonehead, and you can't hold. So for those of you that haven't tried Bonehead baits, the one thing I like about a Bonehead bait is the body is so firm. Like you can catch 40, 50, 60 fish on one bait and it won't tear up. I tell people that and they're like, really? Come on. I'm like, no, I'm serious. And then they go use them and they're like, wow. There's some other baits, especially minnow baits, similar to this, that you catch 1-2 fish on and they're done. As you guys can see, I cannot hold that. I'm going to try 2 hands. You can't keep that tail from moving, and I'm trying. And it still moves. But great action on that bait. Great baits. Slim stick. I do not use the big 3-inch slim stick. I stick with the 2 3/8 and then the stump bug, which is even smaller than 2 3/8. I think it's like a 2-inch bait. But nonetheless, those are my favorite baits. Those are my go-tos. Take that for what it is. But yeah, that is kind of a monkey milk and green, Joseph, to answer your question. Eddie Gregg, how long will the battery last? It'll last more than an 8-hour day on the water, Eddie. So the 30 amp hour running just a Humminbird. Did you say Helix 10? I forgot. Yes, Helix 10. It'd probably last, the LiveScope bundle lasts 20 hours or 22 hours, something like that. Just a Helix 10 on there, you're probably looking at 30 or 35 hours of life, Eddie, on a 30 amp hour. So it's going to have more than enough to keep it running. Jimmy Pratt says, what color head is your favorite on or with Moondust? My favorite color head, Jimmy, on any bait is Chartreuse Double Cross from Crappie Magnet. All right, there. CrappieMagnet.com. That double cross jig head. I've showed those before. That is my favorite jig head. There's a lot of jig heads out there on the market. Light Wire Hooks makes a good jig head. Mr. Curtis Hobbs, he makes a good one. The reason I prefer these heads is because the keepers that are on them, you can see it's got a double keeper. So it's got a keeper on either side, and they're very non-aggressive. And what I mean by non-aggressive is they don't stick way out on that jig head, okay? So when you slide your bait up on them, it's enough to hold it, but it's not too much where it tears it. So you guys have all fished with a jig head that you slide your jig head up on, and the keeper is so big that it rips your jig head or rips your jig. These will not do that because those keepers are very, very non-aggressive, but they're good enough to slide the bait up on, hold your bait. So let me show you if I can. I've got some more jig heads around here somewhere. Well, I thought I did. Yeah, here's some. Let me see what these look like. Yeah, these will work. All right, let's see if I can see. See how much bigger that silver keeper is than that double cross? I guess you guys can see that. I hope you can. Maybe that's better. Anyway, that's why I like the double cross jig head, and chartreuse is my favorite color. But I've used them all, and an unpainted jig head, guys, is a color. That's an unpainted 1/8 ounce jig head right there. That's a color. It's silver, shatter silver. I mean, I use unpainted jig heads all the time too. So anyway, you know, silver's color. Blake Hawk, glow baits should be here by this weekend at the Cove. So if you guys are looking for any glow baits, they'll be at Crappie Cove at Gunny's in Maryville this weekend. Hang on a minute. I come down here. I saw a super chat. James Saunders, thank you for the super chat. You're very welcome for the tips. I love it. It's a passion of mine to help teach and help you guys with questions and help you learn. I mean, that's a passion of mine, is to spread knowledge, and I thank you for the super chat, guys. Super chats, I'll be honest with you. I'll be 100% honest with you. Okay. I don't generally say this, but since I've started my lives, or I hadn't said this at all. So this is new. Okay. Since I've started my lives, the channel has done better on the lives with your super chats than YouTube pays me. Okay. And you guys can take that for what it's worth, but YouTubers don't make very much money. I do this because I love it, because it's a passion for me. And I would love to hear you guys say that something helps you, that you learned something, you caught fish, you went out there and had a good day, you were successful on the water. My intent is to grow the sport of crappie fishing. My intent is to make everybody, or help everybody, not make, but help everybody become a better angler so that you enjoy your time on the water, so that you go fishing again. I mean, that's what this is all about, is to grow the sport of crappie fishing. And James, that super chat will go right back into me being on the water, making good content for you guys. It'll go right back into the channel, into the sport of crappie fishing. So thank you, James. I appreciate it. God bless you. And thank you again for the super chat very much. I appreciate it. Now I got to go back and find my spot. It's around here somewhere. Josh Sanders, good evening. Slab Buster says Abu Garcia Cardinal SX10. I guess that was a reply to Heidi's question about the reel. James Saunders, Blake, going to come by sometime to check out store. Can't wait. Yeah, it's great. If you hadn't been to the Crappie Cove, you got to go see the Crappie Cove. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. You can't walk in that store and walk out with nothing. I'm telling you, there's just too much good stuff in there that you just can't get anywhere. So a lot of this stuff, guys, you can go to Crappie Cove and get it and not have to pay shipping to ship it to you. So, you know, a lot of these companies, if you got $50 or $60 or $70 worth of product, they'll ship it to you for free. But, you know, as an angler, if I'm out on the lake and I'm catching them on this color and they're wearing this color out, and that's the last pack I have, and it's the last bait I run out of, and a lot of times I don't want to buy $50 worth of that bait. So it's nice to have a shop local we can just run up to and grab a pack or two if we need it, and, you know, not have to pay shipping. So guys, go check out Crappie Cove. It really is pretty neat, and it's pretty cool. And the rod rack they have in there is awesome. His rod rack, it's pretty cool to see. So anyway. Heidi says, thank you for the answer. You're welcome. Josh Sanders said, got my try-on from Glenn's Army Navy store, and they were $39.99 and free fast shipping. Yep, Josh, that's where I buy mine, Glenn's Army Navy, and they are great. They're great customer service, great people. I don't personally know them. I just order from them. So I'm a customer just like you guys, but I have always enjoyed my experiences with them, and so I keep going back. Like the video, but at 73, standing and fishing is a challenge. That's what seats are for. Yeah, Curtis, I stand and fish a lot. That's probably a little bit of the bass in me, I guess. Or I don't know, maybe that's just how I like to fish. I like to be kind of up front, and I feel like I can move around better without a seat in the front. I do not have a butt seat in the front of the boat. I have no seat at all. It's just, well, you guys have seen my deck. I mean, it's just a clear deck. I enjoy fishing that way because I just feel like I'm moving around better. I can just move better, and I don't have anything in my way. Although I may have to fish with a seat next weekend, or this coming weekend, because I've been nursing a foot injury. I do not know what it's from. I do not know what's wrong with it. I am well, I won't say anything about doctors. I don't like going to the doctor, so I haven't went to the doctor yet. I think maybe I've broken it, and because when I walk, it hurts up here in this area. It just goes from the foot all the way up, and I mean it almost buckling at times. But yeah, so I may have to sit down this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how I heard it or what I've done, but when I mess something up, I mess it up right. Let's see. Paul, hello. Steven, I run LiveScope 3 days in a row without charging my amp battery. It's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. And you can get, like I said, you get like 20 or 22 hours out of a LiveScope bundle on a 30 amp hour. So it's really neat, or really nice to have. Terry Gear, did you get us a discount code for the amp battery yet? No, I haven't, Terry. I'm sorry. I need to have a conversation with them because I can't. I'm sure I've sold, I don't know how many batteries for them or helped. I don't sell them, let's face it, but I've probably assisted in selling a lot of batteries for them. And yeah, they should give you guys a discount. But no, I haven't talked to them. I hadn't got one. I apologize. I will try at some point, but working a full-time job doing videos for you guys and trying to keep up with guide trips and everything else, I'm tapped. I mean, it's tough, plus 2 kids and a wife. So I'll try. I promise I will, but no promises. Slab Buster says, well, hang on. Hang on just a second. Let's do something real quick for you guys. So I want to go through the discount codes that I do offer. Terry asked about discount codes. I'll go through the discount codes I do offer real quick, and then I'll type them in the comments. You guys can take a picture of them. You guys can do whatever. So you have those discount codes. But Bonehead Tackle, get 15% off. And the code is Crappie. If I can type, Crappie 2020. Bonehead Tackles, Crappie 2020. Okay, guys. So there's that one. We've got a doctor watching. I just got a doctor text about the foot. So don't shoot me, Mike. All right. Let's see here. It goes back to my Marine Corps days. Going to the doctor, they just tell you, eat Motrin, drink water, you'll be fine, go away. And it's like, yes, sir. So yeah, that's where my doctor issues spawn from. All right. So yeah, Bonehead, 15% off. Crappie 2020. Crappie Cove at Gunny's. Got Crappie Cove, 10% off is wired. Okay, so there's that one. And then we've got Fishing Specialties. If you don't have a pole for your LiveScope and you're getting LiveScope and you need a discount code for Fishing Specialties, you get 10% off at Fishing Specialties. And again, that discount code is wired. Okay. Ozark rods. If you're looking for a good rod that will last you and is well built, Ozark rods, you get 10% off with them, with the discount code wired as well. So there's that one. And then we have a new one to give out this evening. So everybody's seen me talk about the Easy Drift bait pin. Okay. If you have not seen the bait pin for your nibbles, there's your nibble bait pin. It'll hang around your neck, lay in the boat. You load it up right here. You load your nibbles inside the pin and they come out the end. You put them on your hook. It's got a little slider on it. So you can see the little slider right here. It's just like a slider. It clicks every time you go down or push up and down. The pin comes apart. You just unscrew it, load your nibbles in it, and you can slide the slider up and down, and it dispenses your nibbles for you. So the Easy Drift I'm going to get this right in a minute. Drift code is 10%. And it is also wired. Okay. So there's all the discount codes for the channels for the channel guys. Use them. They're for you. That's what they're there for. Anytime somebody contacts me and by the way, we're going to give away one of these tonight. So stay tuned because you're going to have a chance to win an Easy Drift bait pin here in just a little bit. We're going to give one away. But again, back to what I was saying, anytime somebody asks to partner with the channel guys, I ask them to give you guys a discount code. Okay. That's kind of a prerequisite, if I can get the word out, for the channel. If I'm going to continue to do this and I'm going to continue to talk to people and expand what the channel's doing and the people that are partnered with the channel, then I want you guys to be able to benefit from that. I want you guys to be able to come to the channel, get you some cool stuff, get it at a good cost, save yourself a little bit of money. Fishing's expensive. If anybody tells you fishing ain't expensive, go look at the cost of a LiveScope or a side imaging unit or a rod or a reel, or it's expensive. So, and I'm a tightwad. So if you guys can save some money and I can help save some money for you, then that's what we want to do, right? So there's all my discount codes. Please, please, please take advantage of those. Great companies, great products. I use all the products there myself and I like them. I enjoy using them. So there you go. And I hope that helps, Terry. I'm sorry I don't have the amped code. I'll work on it. But in the meantime, save yourself some money. If you save some money on all those other products, then you can go get your amp battery at cost. So anyway, there you go, guys. Use those. Feel free. All right, Slab Buster, back to you. Sorry about that. So Weiss, then Neely Henry, then Logan Martin, then Lay Lake, et cetera, all Coosa River. You come to Neely Henry, you can stay at my place. Matt, that's my home lake. I'm 15 miles from it. Man, thank you, Slab Buster, very much. I appreciate it. I make that trip. I'll let you know for sure. I'll try to tell everybody on the live before I go, and I'll definitely get hooked up with you because I'm going to come down that way and fish all those lakes, make my rounds. I'm looking forward to it, and I need to go to Middle Tennessee and make a round over there too. I'm going to try to start making some rounds kind of around East Tennessee. Maybe I can do some day trips and fish. If I can do a day trip, if I can get up at like 2, 3 o'clock and run down and fish a couple different lakes in one day, maybe, come off the water 12 and be back on the water at 2 in another lake. I'm going to try to do some different stuff, hit some of these different lakes. Maybe I'll reach some of you guys' home lakes. If you're anywhere around East Tennessee, try to get up into North Carolina, maybe some South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll get on some of you guys' home lakes. Sean Bradford, why isn't this live from Gunny's? Sean, that's next week. Next week is the live from Gunny's, okay? So if you always watch the lives, next week is going to be different, guys. Next week, the live is going to be at 5:30. It's not going to be at 9 p.m., okay? The live will be at 5:30 next Wednesday, and we're going live from the Crappie Cove at Gunny's in Maryville, Tennessee. We're doing a meet and greet. There'll be some food, and so if you want to come out to that, please do. But again, the live is at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, okay? So you won't want to miss that. It'll be me and Chris will be up from Texas, Asleep at the Reel. He'll be here. I've got some good stuff planned. I've got some really good stuff planned. It's going to be great. It's going to be, informative, as always, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to do some different stuff. You guys don't want to miss that because I've got a surprise for Mr. Blake Hawk and Mr. Chris. They don't know it yet, and I ain't telling them. They'll find out Wednesday, just like you guys. So, but you're not going to want to miss it. I assure you, I promise you, it is going to be fun and funny. You guys won't want to miss it next week. So 5:30, if you can't make it to Gunny's, please tune in to the live. It's going to be a good time, okay? Heidi said she's about to order some bonehead baits. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate you. And enjoy the baits. They're good baits. You'll enjoy them very much, I promise. Eddie Gregg, somebody on here tell me how many years this amp battery will last. Josh Sanders answered that question. Amp battery is good for like 1,200 charges, I think Matt said. Yep. So I don't know. 1,200. How many times a year do you fish, Eddie? So, at 1,200 charges, I think the warranty on them is 3 years. I think. I can't say that for certain, but it'll last you a long time. I've had mine for a year and a half, and I'm still going. So, I can't tell you exactly how many years, and I can't tell you that all batteries are the same because they're not. It's like buying a new car or a new truck. You may get a good one, you may get a bad one. It depends. Did they build it on a Monday or a Tuesday? I don't know, but for the most part, they're great batteries, and they've got a good warranty. He stands behind his warranty because I know people have had to use them. But yeah, they'll last you a long time. Joseph Thaxton, 56 people on. Y'all need to hit the like. Yeah, guys, smash that like button. If you like the content, like what we're doing, hit that like button for me, please. That just lets everybody know that it's good content. So everybody wants to watch good content, right? Dr. Jack. What's going on, Dr. Jack? Hey, Matt. Look forward to next Wednesday at Gunny's. What size Aberdeen hook do you use when fishing with minnows? A number 2. I prefer a gold number 2 Aberdeen hook when I'm fishing with minnows. I like a gold hook because it adds flash, and I like the number 2 because it's just a good size. I don't use a number 1. There's a lot of guys that use a number 1. A lot of guys use a smaller hook. I don't really like a smaller hook much because it's easier for them to swallow. And a lot of times when you're minnow fishing, they will swallow it. If they get the opportunity, they'll suck that joker down quick. So I try to use a little larger hook when I'm minnow fishing. Heidi says, does the Crappie Cove at Gunny's have a website? Do they ship baits? I'm sure Blake answered that. Probably. If he hadn't, I'm sure he will. I think, Heidi, I think they're going to have a website. But if you call Gunny's, call their phone number and request to order, they will ship to you, I'm sure. They're great. Again, great customer service, great people. So Heidi, if you call them, you can get the wire discount from them, and they'll probably ship them to you. So they may charge you the shipping fee, but you're going to get charged the shipping fee at Bonehead too. So give them a call. And I think they are going to have a website. If they don't have one yet, they're working on it. Jimmy says Jason keeps buying all the great color stump bugs, so I can't get them. Jason and Jimmy been hitting up Crappie Cove quite a bit, and Jason keeps buying all the good colors, so Jimmy can't get them. That's pretty funny right there. I don't care who you are. That's funny right there. Trent Huber, you didn't wear your socks with your Crocs. That's what happened. Yeah. My wife keeps making fun of me because I have feet that look like Casper and my legs are the color of coffee. So she keeps making fun of me. And I figured maybe if I don't wear socks, then I'll get a little sun on my feet. But to be honest, as I get older, I'm starting to get a little bit more sun conscious, to where when I was a little younger, I didn't care. But now I am, I guess I'm a weenie, and I can't take getting sunburned like I used to. You get up the next day and you got to go to work and put a shirt and pants on, and it hurts. I'm not a fan of that anymore. So I try to keep myself covered. My legs and my arms don't typically burn, but the rest of me does. So that's kind of why I can't stand for my ears to get sunburned, guys. My gosh, because it itches. Oh my gosh, your ears will itch like crazy. So I've been wearing my mask, my face mask, and as I get a little age on me, I'm getting a little more sun conscious, skin issues and all that with the sun. I don't know. And I didn't used to fish as much as I do now. I fish every single week, multiple times a week, and I'm out there getting beat on. So, yeah, I did not wear my socks. Thanks for noticing. But I caught crappie too, Trent. Did you notice that? So thank you, but that's pretty funny. Slapbuster, I have a 10-foot Pro Series Ozark looking to get a 6-footer, so thanks on the discount code. You're welcome, Slapbuster. George Hamby, what's going on, George? I'm looking for a 3-bank charger for AGM batteries. My charger lost a bank this week. Any recommendations? Oof. George, I'll be honest with you. I don't use an onboard charger. Most onboard chargers are charging at about, I think the last I looked, are about charging with it. They're charging at 6 amps, I believe. I like to use a maintainer to charge my batteries, and I put a maintainer on my batteries. If my boat is at the shop in the barn, it has chargers on it all the time. When I come off the lake, my batteries get hooked up. They stay hooked up until I leave to go to the lake the next trip. So they're on a maintainer. It's a 1.5 amp charger maintainer that I use. The way charging on a battery works, guys, is the lower the amperage that your charger is putting out, the better charge you're going to get on your batteries. It's going to charge your batteries better. It's going to take longer, but you're going to get a better charge on your battery with a lower amperage. So the lower amps you can charge your or the lowest amp you can charge your battery with, the better. I'm stumbling around this, but somebody outside drag racing got me back and forth. Anyway, if you charge with 1.5 amps as opposed to 6 amps, you're going to get a better charge. So that's why I charge with the charger maintainers. I really like them. They're $20, $25 a piece, but onboard chargers I can't really help you with. The 3 banks, I know Minn Kota makes a really good 3 bank. If I was going to look at an onboard charger in a 3 bank, I'd go with the Minn Kota. So. RH. Hey, Matt, if you could only fish with 3 colors, what's your top 3? Thanks. For Tennessee, well, let's talk about for any water. For any water. If I had 3 colors, it'd be these 3 right here. I don't care what lake you're on, what part of the country you're in. If I had 3 colors, okay, and that's all I could take to the lake. If somebody told me I had to go fish a tournament and I could only take 3 different packs of baits, it would be the white and chartreuse, the black and chartreuse, and the pumpkin and chartreuse. Okay, those would be the 3 colors that I would take to the lake every time. Every trip. Doesn't matter if it's winter, spring, summer, fall. Doesn't matter if it's dirty water, clear water. Those are the 3 colors that I would take to the lake. White and chartreuse, black and chartreuse, and pumpkin and chartreuse. And yes, there's chartreuse in every one of those, but chartreuse is known to get a reaction strike out of fish. It's known to cause a reaction strike, and it works. So those are the 3 colors that I would use, RH, if I only could take 3 colors. And I know those are basic colors. Everybody's going to say, well, that's the basic stuff. Yeah, well, the basic stuff works, and fish eat it. So, Tyler Key, do you catch a lot on docks on Watts Bar? No, no. Don't fish docks, Tyler. Nah, no. Never caught one on docks, ever. Nope, not a one. And if you believe that, I've got 3,000 acres of oceanfront property in Illinois that's got a Golden Gate on the front and the back of it, and I'll sell it to you for $1.50. No, there are a lot of fish on Watts Bar under docks, yes. So it's a great dock lake. I will say Watts Bar can be seasonally good on docks. There are some days or sometimes a year that fish just don't gravitate towards docks. Summer is tough on docks on Watts Bar. And spring can be hit or miss. But fall and winter are very good on Watts Bar. James Saunders, what ramps on Watts Bar are good to launch for brush piles, big crappie? James, that's hard to narrow down. That entire lake's good. I mean, I literally fish. I have fished that lake from, well, I haven't done a whole lot above the steam plant. Upriver, the steam plant, I hadn't fished a ton. I've been up that way a couple times, but I hadn't been up that way a lot. But I've fished from halfway to Loudon Dam, halfway to Fort Loudon, up the river, all the way down to Watts Bar Dam. And there's brush piles from the dam up all the way through the river to the nuke plant and beyond. And there's big fish on all of them. So I can't really give you a dock or a ramp to launch out of that's just specifically for big fish. I wish I could say it's just one, but really it's all of them. I mean, Watts Bar is just a great fishery. It's a good lake, a lot of brush in it. A lot of people put brush in Watts Bar, a lot of man-made stuff, and it holds fish. So I really can't give you I would fish anywhere from Kingston to the dam. I know that's a lot of water, but it's the truth. I mean, it's just, you just have to locate it. So it's there. You just have to locate it. Blake Hawk, Heidi, he said, website is close, and yes, we do ship. So Heidi, if you want to order from Crappie Cove, give them a ring. Just Google Gunnies, Maryville, Tennessee, and get their phone number and holler at them. Grant Bailey. So for those of us that can't make it at 5:30, we'll be there till 7, Grant. So it's going to be about 5:30 to 7, guys. Probably start winding it down 6:30, 6:45. That way we can kind of get everybody out of there. Keep in mind, Gunnies, Crappie Cove is going to stay open late for us, just for the Wired fam that night. So we're not going to keep them too late because obviously they got to have employees there to sell you guys stuff, because you guys are probably going to, I mean, it would be cruel for us to bring you in a crappie store and tell you to sit there and you can't have nothing. That would be cruel. That's like cruelty to fishermen. And so, you know, they got to keep their employees there so you guys can buy stuff, right? But yeah, we're going to make sure we're out of their hair and out of there by 7. So, but yeah, if you can't make it at 5:30, still come, guys. I mean, you can come anytime, 5:30 to 7. Come on. Terry Gear, Matt, if your wife comes next week, all of your friends will brag on you and tell her she's lucky to have you. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. But let me tell everybody something real quick. I'm lucky to have her, and I mean that. From the bottom of my heart, I am lucky to have that woman. She is extraordinary, and I couldn't do all that I do for you guys and in the fishing world and work full time and raise 2 kids if that woman was not as strong as she is. That woman is extremely, extremely forgiving to me, and I'm lucky to have her. So it's not the other way around, I promise you. But thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. Chuck Price, are there any lakes that you don't eat crappie from? You put me on the spot, Chuck. Yes. I do not eat crappie from Loudon. And that's not because Fort Loudon has a nickname. It's called Fort Nasty, and it's always dirty. And because of that, it's a great fishery because of that, because it's fertile. Dirty, dark, dingy water is fertile. There's more microorganisms. There's more bait fish. There's more of the zooplanktons and all that in dirty water. That's known. Everybody knows that dirty, dingy water is more fertile. But I will not eat fish out of Fort Loudon. I'm sorry. If you guys eat fish out of Fort Loudon, please don't shoot me. Don't send me dirty emails or hate mail. I just don't eat fish out of Fort Loudon. It's just a thing that I just don't do. So I will just about eat them out of any other lake in East Tennessee. I will not eat them out of Melton Hill. I shouldn't say I eat them out of every other lake because I won't eat them out of Melton Hill. Something about the whole Oak Ridge thing. I knew I have older friends that, their dads and things would tell horror stories about Oak Ridge, and whether it's true or not, you don't ever know. I mean, you know how stories are. They're stories. They always seem to grow. So I just don't eat them out of Melton Hill either. Melton Hill and Loudon are probably the two lakes I won't eat them out of, but Cherokee, Douglas, Watts Bar, Tellico, Chickamauga, I'll eat them out of all those lakes. My favorite lake to eat them out of, I'll flip that on you, is Tellico. And I'll tell you why, because the fish in Tellico are skinnier. They just are. They're just skinnier fish in Tellico. And there's a whole lot of those 10.5-inch fish in Tellico. And I love, guys, if I'm going to eat a fish, I want a 10.5-inch crappie. That's what I want because I love crispy fish. I don't like those big females that, are thick across the back and they just got spongy fillets and you can't really get them real good and crispy. I like to bread all four. I like to cut them into nuggets, bread all four sides and have them real crispy and just throw them in your mouth and just crunch them. That's the way I like to eat fish. So my number one lake to eat them out of is Tellico, without a doubt. And now I'm hungry. So there's that. I'm going to have to go get some crappie out of the freezer. Be cooking crappie at 11 o'clock at night. Grant, due to work, how long do you plan on being at Gunny's on Wednesday? So, Grant, I think I answered that one. Probably going to be there about 7 o'clock. Or leaving about 7 o'clock. We're going to cut her down at 7. We'll have everybody out of there by 7 anyway. Eddie Gregg, you need a good straw hat. It's funny you mentioned that, Eddie, because I was talking with another gentleman the other day. Everybody has seen the new logo, right? The new Wired for Crappie logo. It's near and dear to my heart. I love that thing. I can't say that I love that thing enough. I love that thing. So I was talking to a guy the other day, and I said, man, it'd be cool if I could get a straw hat, one of them big billed hats, put Wired for Crappie on the front of it, and then underneath the bill, because underneath the bill on those, a lot of times they have a fabric, and underneath the bill on that fabric, I could put all of my my sponsors' logos so that when you guys are sitting there in the video looking up at me, you can see the logos on the hat. It'd be pretty neat, Put a couple Wired for Crappies underneath the brim, and yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to have somebody do one of those for me, but yeah, all just ideas. Lots of ideas running around, But yeah, that would be pretty neat. Keep the sun off of you. But it's going to be getting cold soon, and I'm going to want the sun on me. I'll be all dressed in all black, trying to soak up as much sun as I can. Kip Wright, he says, I'm late, but my new LiveScope works perfectly. Well, I'm glad it's working, Kip. That's a good thing. Kip says, Bass Tank and Fishing Specialties. I guess he bought the LiveScope from Bass Tank and Fishing Specialties got the pole, I'm assuming. Hope you used the discount code, Kip. George Hamby, thank you for your input on the charger. You're welcome, George. Jimmy Pratt, I have got soaked by storms 3 times this week. What's the best rain suit? All right, Jimmy's putting me on the soapbox. I'm gonna try to be as quick as I can on this one because Jimmy is putting me on my box. I'm standing right up there on top of it, real tall. I am a Bass Pro Shop 100-mile-an-hour suit guy. Love it. I love my 100-mile-an-hour suit. I have wore them, and you just can't get a better rain suit, in my opinion. They discontinued the original 100-mile-an-hour suit earlier this year, and now they have basically what I think happened. I'll tell you what my thoughts are. Is they put that 100-mile-an-hour suit out for bid because they probably didn't like the margin on it. They wanted a better margin, so they put it out for bid, and they bid it to the lowest, or they gave it to the lowest bidder to produce. And I don't like it. I've seen it. I've laid eyes on it, hands on it, everything else, and I don't like that new 100-mile-an-hour suit. I'm a little bit upset about it, that they got rid of the old 100-mile-an-hour suit. So, Jimmy, I wish I could say 100-mile-an-hour suit, but the new one is not my favorite. So if any of you guys have anything other than a 100-mile-an-hour suit from Bass Pro Shop that you guys use, let Jimmy know. I'm gonna nurse mine and get as much life out of it as I can. Let's face it, guys, we probably don't use rain suits that often, but when you need it, you want one that works. So anyway, that's my input. I'm just going to jump off my box now before I get on a tangent. I don't mind getting on the box, but I don't want to get on a tangent, so I'm going to get off it. Mike Davis, thank you for the super chat, Mike. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Again, guys, the super chats go right back into the channel, keeping me on the lake, making good content for you guys. So I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Mike, for your super chat. Jackie Jordan. Well, Jackie's on vacation, guys, from Clearwater, Florida. Well, I hope you're having a good vacation, Jackie. Thank you for tuning in while you're on your vacation. My wife told me the other day she wants to go too. She wants to go to Jekyll Island. You guys been to Jekyll Island? We've been there. We've been there a couple times before and absolutely love it. It's peaceful. There's not a whole lot of tourism, and there's not a whole lot of nightlife going on. It's just a very good place to take the kids. So we may go down there sometime here in the next couple months. We'll see. Tyler says, sorry, Matt, maybe I should have asked, are you catching any on docks right now on Watts Bar? Tyler, I hadn't fished Watts Bar in a little bit. Probably, well, I don't know. It's been a month or better, maybe several months. It's been a little minute since I've been on Watts Bar. So I could shoot you an answer, yes or no, but it wouldn't be the truth because I don't know. I just hadn't been out there lately. Josh says, love St. Simons. My in-laws are from there. St. Simons is a beautiful place. I actually grew up in Georgia for a short period of time. Well, not short period of time. I was born in Georgia. Lived there for 8 years, moved back, lived there for another 4 or 5 in my early teens, mid-teens. And my family and I, we were all up and down the coast. So St. Simons, Sea Island, Tybee Island, Jekyll Island, all that up through there. Beautiful Savannah, beautiful, beautiful coast, and a lot of nice much to vacay in. Like I said, we like Jekyll just because there's not as much nightlife, and it's a little bit more family friendly. Jekyll's kind of a family area, more so than that whole nightlife scene. So, good place to take the kids and just kind of relax. Actually, we're probably going to end up taking the camper down. Some of you may have seen we bought a camper here several weeks ago. I think I mentioned it. We bought it on our anniversary, actually, the day of our anniversary. Me and my wife have been married now for 12 wonderful years, and we decided to buy a joint gift. We got us a camper, and actually today I started some renovations on it. So I ripped the entire front end of the fifth wheel out, ceiling, walls, insulation, whole nine. So ripped it all out. Go buy something and then tear it apart. Go figure. But no, I want to do something different. I want to do something special up front for the wife and give her a space. So, it's going to be all dolled up, and it's Barbie's dream house for her. And it's not going to be pink. That's not what I mean by Barbie. But no, we're gonna do it up real nice and give her a space that she can lay in and love. So, anyway. Ripped that out actually right before I got on live. So got off work and spent a couple hours ripping insulation and paneling down. Maybe I'll do a video on that and just kind of show y'all the progress. That'd be kind of cool. Not fishing related, but maybe we'll video it and do one video, just the whole we can time lapse it. Just do the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Blake Hawk, Cabela's Guide Series suits are rock solid, and I think they are a lifetime rain suit. Just my 2 cents. I'm a 100-mile-an-hour suit guy, so I do know. To Blake's point, Cabela's, let's face it, if you have bought from Cabela's and you've bought from Bass Pro Shop, everybody knows Cabela's is quality. Cabela's always seemed to me like it was quality over quantity, and Bass Pro was kind of quantity over quality. Of course, they're all the same company now, but I'm sure the Cabela's Guide Series suits are rock solid because they have very, very good products and always have. Thank you for the input, Blake. I appreciate it. Slab Buster, Matt, is next Wednesday night at 5:30 correct? Yes. So the live next week, again, guys, next Wednesday, the 26th, the live will be at 5:30. Okay. We're going to be doing it from Crappie Cove, and it will start at 5:30, and we're shutting her down probably 6:30, 6:45. That way we can pack up, get out of there by 7. So we'll have some guests there. Everybody knows Chris will be there from Asleep at the Reel, but there'll be some other guests there. They may or may not make an appearance. I can't say they will because I have not spoken to them yet to ask them if they will, but I'm sure they will because they'll be there. And they're probably going to want to get on there and say hello to everybody. So there'll be some special guests. There's a big surprise in store for you guys because, and actually it's a surprise for you guys and for Mr. Blake Hawk and for Chris from Asleep at the Reel. There's a big surprise. We've been talking up some things, and I've got something in store for them. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a good time with it. So y'all don't want to miss that. 5:30 next Wednesday night. We'll be live. It's a change in time for the channel. So 5:30, that's Eastern time, okay? So if you're in Texas, that would be 4:30 your time, right? Yeah, you're an hour. Yeah, you're an hour behind us. So yeah, that's right. 4:30 your time. Andrew, last week on Watts Bar caught most in brush, but that changes. Yeah, I wish I could talk a little bit more about Watts Bar. Just hadn't been there lately. I generally fish brush when I go to Watts Bar, but there are fishing docks too. And when you find them on docks, you can typically find them. So. Slab Buster says, go Walmart and get the $30 frog tog. It works. Let's face it. You will probably use a rain suit 5 times a year if that. So Slab Buster, I used the $30 Frog Togs a lot. I actually had 2 or 3 pairs before I got a 100-mile-an-hour suit, and you're right, they work. The thing is, for me, because I walk around the boat a lot when I'm fishing, I would always wear them out or tear them all the time. And being a tournament angler as well, I used them a lot more than 5 times a year, because when you're tournament fishing, let's face it, you get what you're dealt with. And generally you get dealt with a rain day on tournament day. It's just how it happens. So, and I'm in them for 8 to 10 hours when I'm in them, and, moving around, bending and moving and up and down. And I tear mine. I tear those $30 Frog Togs all the time. But for $30, you can tear 10 sets of them for, what you can get a 100-mile-an-hour suit for. Actually, probably 20 sets of them for what you get a 100-mile-an-hour suit for. But the 100-mile-an-hour suit will keep you warmer in the winter too. So there's trade-offs, and the 100-mile-an-hour suit will last you, 5, 10, 15 years. The thing with those is even more than that, actually. You can retreat them. If they ever start soaking water through or wicking, if they ever start wicking water, you can retreat them, and you can retreat anything, I think. But you can get some waterproofing and retreat those, and they'll go right back to the original quality that they were. I have a lot of brush. Ashley says, I have a lot of brush marked on Norris Douglas. Once temps drop to upper 70s, what part of those lakes would you target? I.e. main lake points, primary, secondary creek point, back of creek, hollows, etc. All right, this is a pretty loaded question, Ashley. Let me wrap my head around it a second. So Norris, I would probably put the boat back on the trailer and go to Douglas. That's a good one. Yeah, you like that one. Anybody who's fished Norris likes that one. So no, either lake, when it drops down into the 70s, I would probably start with primary points, main lake points. The first point at the mouth of the creek is where I'd start. Okay. And then I would move back in the creek. Once I moved back in the creek, I would not ignore creek channels. I would not ignore points. So I just kind of bounce around. I'd run my creek channel until I got to a point, and then I'd hop up on a point, look at it, and then, just kind of meander your way back through there. If you have flats, if you can find flats in that, 70s, if you can find flats in that 15 to 20 foot of water, and you find a large flat that's got isolated structure on it, those are good places to look as well. Once the water temps start to drop. So what's going to happen is when the water temps start to drop, those fish are going to start moving back up into those creeks, and they're going to use the creek channels, the primary creeks and the secondary creeks to do that. So you want to look at those creek channels. You want to look at the ledges, those creek channel ledges, the drops, and you want to look at those flats, like I said, that are 15 to 20 feet of water, and then points too. So anytime you can find brush on a point, you can generally find fish. That would be what I would do. That'd be how I'd start to fish that situation. Scott Pace, have you thought about coming to Alabama and fishing Lake Gunnersville? I have, Scott. I actually mentioned that earlier about, making some day trips and fishing some different lakes, seeing how long it takes to find fish on different lakes. I think that'd be a good series is, maybe for a solid month, I go to a different lake every trip, and I get up, drive from the house, a couple hour drive, get to a lake, put my boat in, and just kind of say, hey, I'm starting at 8 o'clock. I caught my first fish at 8:15 or 8:30 or 9 o'clock or noon or whatever it takes, and just kind of walk through how I go about approaching a completely new body of water, sorry, completely new body of water. You know, kind of give you guys a little bit of idea, Navionics, how I used that before I got to the lake. What I took away from my Navionics time to make my time on the water more efficient, find fish quicker, that sort of thing. I love doing that. I absolutely love looking at new water. So I will get down that way. I want to get to Gunnersville. I want to get to Weiss. I want to get to Neely Henry. I said that earlier. I want to get to – I've always driven over Allatoona. So I have family in Georgia, and I've driven that drive a million times down 75 and crossed Allatoona, and I've always thought, man, that lake looks good. There's got to be crappie in that lake. So I'd like to get there. I grew up on Lake Lanier as a kid, fishing Lake Lanier and boating Lake Lanier, and I would love to get back out on Lake Lanier and see if I could catch crappie on it. The last time I was on Lanier was probably when I was 6, 7. But I do have memories, and I actually can remember that far back, surprisingly. But yeah, anyway, there's just a lot of different lakes I'd like to get to and do that for you guys, and I will. But just got to find the time. Ashley said that was your best Norris pun yet. Lots of laughs. Yep. That one came right off the hip, Ashley. Heidi says, have you looked at Columbia brand suits, Jimmy? You can check those out. Slab Buster says, Jimmy, I agree with Blake and Matt. Look at the Cabela stuff. They make good products most time. All right, guys, looks like I've gotten to the bottom here. I'm going to talk a little bit more. We're going to give this bait pin away. I want to stress again, next week, 5:30 Eastern time is the live. 5:30 Eastern time next week, okay? I know last time I gave a pin away, you guys said there was people answering before you could even type. And I tried to kind of think to myself this week, I tried to think a little bit this week about how I could maybe stump you guys a little bit, try to keep everybody guessing. I guess maybe some of the Googlers or some of you guys that can look real quick might have a better chance than others. But I think maybe I can get you on this one, maybe a little bit. But anyway, I think I just saw another comment come in. Matt, if you ever come to Neely Henry, I've got a surprise for you. Ever heard of Inland Lake? If you haven't, Google it. It's only 8 miles long, but it's clear and deep. Has only blacks in it, but they are huge. I hadn't heard of that lake, but I'm going to look it up now. And I'm intrigued. You got me intrigued. Black crappies. Biggins. I like black crappies. I like the way they're built. They're generally thicker across the back. I like them. All right. So the first person that can tell me what lake I fished on the very first video I ever did on my YouTube channel gets this pin. Very first video, the very first lake I ever did a video on, and I can tell you Jimmy is not right. It was way back in the day. Nope. I hadn't seen one yet. I hadn't seen the comment yet. It's not Teleco, Jimmy. And I'm not going to say anymore. I hadn't seen the comment yet. Very first video, guys, ever on the Wired for Crappie channel. To be honest with you, I wasn't even wired for crappie yet. I don't know why I did the video. I just threw it out there. Do, 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 do. I'm starting to think StreamYard's broke. Very first video, guys. Oh, there it is. Josh Sanders. Chick. That's right, Josh. Chick. My very first video was on Chick. So, Josh, send me an email. I will send you, or I'll put my email address on here for you. There's my email. Shoot me an email with your info, Josh, and I'll get that out to you, okay? All right, guys. I don't see any more comments. I don't see anything from y'all. Don't forget, 5:30 next week. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys being part of the Wired fam. I hope that you guys got to ask all your questions tonight. I hope that I answered all your questions for you. I hope that it helps, and I look forward to doing it again next week, guys. 5:30, and I just look forward to what I have for Chris and for Blake. And no is not going to be an answer. They're not going to be able to say no. So, because all you guys are going to be watching and the pressure is going to be on, and they're just not going to be able to say no. So they're not going to have a choice. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get an insane amount of enjoyment out of doing this to these two. So either way, I'm going to get a lot out of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to laugh for it is probably going to give me about a year and a half worth of laughs, because I'll just be able to lay in bed at night and just think about it and just go, yeah, that happened. So, yep, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys won't want to miss it. God bless, like always. God bless, guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you for everything that y'all do. And we'll catch you guys next week, okay? So have a good night, and we'll see you later.